Yeah, if you read the title. Yeah, if you read the title and you see the screen, this video is going to be talking about Spider-Gwen from both Into and Across the Spider-Verse versus Damian Wayne from the DC animated movies universe. Now, if you didn't know, I made a short about this exact discussion a while ago, but I never went in detail as to why I believed the fight would go the way that I said it would in the short. If you're wondering why I hadn't made this video before now, I honestly just didn't feel like it, but now I feel like this video is way past due. Before we get into this video though, I do have to say that this video will contain spoilers for both Into and Across the Spider-Verse, as well as the DCAMU, so if you want to avoid that, click out of this video now. But if you don't, then let's not waste any more time and get right into this. To be completely clear, I am not talking about comics version Damian or Gwen. I'm talking about DCAMU Damian Wayne versus Across and Into the Spider-Verse Gwen Stacy. So if anyone tries to bring up the comics that the Spider-Verse movies are based off of, then the New 52 movies that the DCAMU is based off of is also fair game, which would make Damian's star level and durability due to taking a bloodlust punch from Flash, and honestly just that one stat alone would give him the win over Gwen. No prep and no outside help. Extra info. When I talk about Damian's power slash AP, I am mainly going to be talking about Damian using his swords, because Damian using his swords are still AP feats, one way or another. Think of Zoro from One Piece or Ichigo from Bleach. And also, when I talk about Gwen, I'm going to be talking more so about her feats and scaling and Into the Spider-Verse instead of Across the Spider-Verse, because her feats and scaling are better there. So let's get started. Starting off with strength, Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne temporarily held Tusk in Batman Bad Blood, and Tusk is a huge metahuman that is overly tall and overly muscular who is over 1,500 pounds. Now, if you checked out my short, I said that Tusk is like 500, 600 pounds or something like that. The reason why is because when I was making that short, I was looking for Tusk's weight in, the DCAMU, but I couldn't find anything. So I just kind of had to ballpark it. But then I ended up making this Google Slides, and as I was making it, I decided just to use Tusk's weight from the comics, because either way it should be the same. Here it is. This is Damian temporarily, very temporarily holding Tusk. This is Tusk's weight. Alright. Strength, Gwen Stacy. The strength of herself and her webbing should be 20 plus tons due to Miles' Peter Parker lifting 2 buses in Into the Spider-Verse. Each bus was a public transit bus, not a school bus, and public transit buses weigh between 20,000 to 33,000 pounds, and in case you didn't know, 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. Here it is. Also, by the way, I just noticed this right now while telling you guys, yeah, the 20 plus is probably lower. I mean, yeah, it'd be like 10 plus tons, but you know what? It's whatever. Alright, durability, Gwen Stacy. So for durability, Gwen is city level due to scaling to Miles Morales' Peter Parker, who took a city level blast that short-circuited New York. This is exactly that. Now, maybe you could make an argument that this wasn't a city level blast because the city wasn't destroyed, but I personally don't think that that's the case here, because my interpretation for this scene is that Kingpin was using the power, the electricity, everything that powered all of New York to power that dimensional laser portal thing. And of course, Spider-Man was shoved directly into that, and yeah, he was dazed pretty badly and beaten down pretty bad after he was put inside of it. But he still survived it, and I mean, he told Miles that he was going to get back up shortly. So, yeah, it's still city level, in my opinion. If you guys have different opinions on this, let me know in the comments below. Durability, Damian Wayne. Damian's best durability feats are taking bloodlust attacks from Flash and Wonder Woman. The versions of Flash and Wonder Woman that Damian took hits from were also amped by Raven's siblings, meaning their power should be even greater, as we clearly see when Trigon took over Superman in Apocalypse War. Also, if you want to argue that the demons held back, I personally don't agree, mainly because we see the demons clearly out for blood. Demonic Cyborg blasted Blue Beetle with a beam that, if Jaime wasn't in his suit, would have incinerated him. Flash makes Damian bleed, Wonder Woman brutally knocks out Beast Boy, and lynches Starfire. Flash and Wonder Woman scaling. As for how strong Wonder Woman and Flash are at that point, in Throne of Atlantis, both were able to hurt Aquaman's brother Orm, who should scale above Black Manta, who took a trident blast from Queen of Atlantis, Atlanta. The trident is powerful enough to destroy multiple cities, as stated by Shazam and Batman. Orm scales to Black Manta. Flash and Wonder Woman were both able to hurt Orm, and Wonder Woman even did it while being shocked by the Trident's power. This in turn means that Flash and Wonder Woman are at least multi-city level at this point, and Damian took hits from amped versions of these two. Look, here's Black Manta getting shot with the beam by the Queen. Here's Wonder Woman being shocked by the Trident's power and still landing a punch on Orm. Here's Orm using the spear. And this is Batman and Shazam saying that it was going to destroy multiple cities. And of course, I'm not just going to leave it here. Look at this.
Holy freaking moly.
ETA to impact. 20 minutes.
How are the three of us going to evacuate entire cities?
We can't. People are going to die.
So, yeah. This, as stated by Batman and Shazam, is going to destroy multiple cities. Would have destroyed multiple cities if that's what Orm wanted to do. Orm did not want to destroy the cities. That's something that's very important for this. Orm did not want to destroy the cities. He wanted to take them over. He wanted to show the surface dwellers, in his own words, that Atlanteans were superior. So you have to keep that in mind. Just because it didn't actually end up destroying cities doesn't mean it couldn't have. Orm's whole agenda was just taking over the surface world and showing the whole world that Atlanteans were the superior race. So, yeah. Power, Gwen Stacy. Her power is likely relative to her durability, so she would again be city level in AP/power. Power feats of Damian Wayne include cutting Martian Manhunter and cutting demons in hell. Martian Manhunter at this point should at least scale the Throne of Atlantis, Wonder Woman, and Flash due to the amps and mind control by Darkseid. So this would in turn put Damian Wayne at best multi-city level in terms of power. And here you go. This is Damian cutting Martian Manhunter. This is Damian cutting two demons. And yeah. Speed, Gwen Stacy. Gwen reacted to what seems to be a 9mm Luger handgun. The speed of a bullet being fired by these guns is around 1200 miles per hour. Here's the bullet being fired, Gwen reacting to it. Here's the gun from what it seems, and this is the speed that it travels at. Speed, Damian Wayne. Damian ran at and managed to trip Flash. Flash is so fast that he can time travel just by running, which at the absolute least places him at light speeds, due to the scientific theory that traveling at the speed of light will cause you to time travel. He is clearly faster though for multiple reasons. 1. We see him pick what point in time he's traveling to. 2. Flash is severely wounded when he does this. Lastly, 3. This was him without being corrupted by a demon like he was when he fought Damian. So this all in turn should put Damian Wayne at least light speed. And here it is. For anyone who says that this is an outlier, I mean, immediately after doing this, he also reacted to Wonder Woman, and later on in Apocalypse War, he also reacted to Darkseid's Omega beams. So, not an outlier to me. Anyways, experience Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne has been trained since the day he could walk with the League of Assassins. His own words. In Apocalypse War, he was 17, meaning he had around 14-15 years of experience. You could just say he's been training his whole life though. Experience Gwen Stacy. Gwen's been Spider-Gwen for about 3 years, give or take. Skill Damian Wayne. Damian has been trained by Batman, Nightwing, Ra's al Ghul, Talon, and Talia his whole life. Batman knows every single martial arts in the world, Nightwing knows a great deal of martial arts himself, and Ra's has been around for centuries. Skill Gwen Stacy. Gwen doesn't have any formal training and is more so a brawler. Abilities/hacks. Damian Wayne. Damian doesn't have any abilities/hacks per se, but don't count him out. His feats alone allow him to compare to some serious heavy hitters with some tough hacks and abilities. He has enhanced strength, speed, durability, endurance, and stamina. Ability/hacks Gwen Stacy. Spider-Sense, strength, speed, etc. Tech and gadgets Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne pretty much has access to all the Batman technology and weapons. This would include the Batmobile, hell, maybe even the Mobius chair. I believe that's what it's called, the Mobius chair, but whatever. Tech and gadgets Gwen Stacy. Web shooters and dimensional travel watch. Alright, the final stats. Damian Wayne, power, multi-city level, durability, multi-city level, speed, light, experience his whole life, skill, every single martial arts known to man since his mentors were Batman, Nightwing, Ra's al Ghul, and Talon. Gwen Stacy, power, city level, durability, city level, speed, 1200 miles per hour, experience 3 years, skill, no actual training. Speed breakdown. Light travels 671 million miles per hour. 671 million divided by 1200 equals 559,166.667. Damian is 559,166 times faster than Gwen. The fight would play out like this. Gwen would try throwing a punch at Damian, but before she could even blink, Damian will have already cut her head off due to him being 559,166 times faster than Gwen. Even if we just say Damian is a tank and is wall level in power, Gwen isn't touching Damian, and even if she does, Damian is taken worse. And also, if you want to argue that her ability should give her an edge, Damian's arsenal is more than enough to make up for that slight disadvantage in hacks and abilities. I mean, he's got the Batmobile, he's got the Mobius chair, he's got batarangs, he's got all types of stuff that Gwen really won't know how to react to. So, yeah. Winner, Damian Wayne. Yeah, that's about that, really. Not really much else to say. I pretty much laid it all out. Like, Gwen's hacks might give her a slight edge, but Damian's arsenal is just gonna completely nullify that slight edge she has. And also Damian's stronger, faster, more skilled. Yeah. But with all that being said, there's really nothing else to talk about here. Maybe this could change when Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, since the DCAMU is over. But, you know, that's it for now. See you guys. Bye.